Welcome, maybe the best day of the NBA, Thursday night, and we're happy you could be here with us. I'm Kevin Harlan. We've got Steve Smith and Greg Anthony alongside, and our sideline reporter tonight, David Aldridge. Hey, Dave.
Thanks, guys. The Cavaliers.
I like what Cleveland's doing. All right, David, thank you so much. Let's check out Toronto's starting lineup. Van Vliet in the backcourt. Trent Jr. to his side. The forwards are Barnes and Siakam. And it's Poeltl in at the 5. And for Cleveland, in at small forward and power forward, it's Okoro and Mobley. Donovan Mitchell is out there with Garland. And it's Allen in at the 5 spot.
Gary Trent Jr., his teammate was so open, he could have passed it with his eyes closed.
And it's Allen with the jam.
Explosive leaping ability allows him to play the 5, even though he's a little undersized.
Van Vliet passes to Barnes. And here is Siakam. Poeltl inside. Working on Allen. Poeltl's shot is off. Last outing for Toronto, unsuccessful. It was a loss to the Detroit Pistons.
And one thing that is special about Evan Mobley, made an immediate defensive impact as a rookie. Something few big men are able to do.
As you said, very few rookie big men, Greg, can shape a defense like Mobley did.
It kind of reminds you of the impact Tim Duncan had with his defense. Mobley can protect the rim and stay in front of guards on the perimeter. Boy, sky is the limit for him defensively.
Now, here's Siakam. Good, and Van Vliet gets the assist.
He's heady, he's unselfish. All Van Vliet does is make winning plays.
And it's Mitchell with the jam.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
For Toronto, they've gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Van Vliet passes to Barnes. Back to Van Vliet. There's 1:38 left here in the opening quarter. And yes, it's good.
To counter the size deficiency, Van Vliet has developed an insane number of moves inside.
And you love seeing that great mobile one drive a second time.
Nice take. Staying aggressive with this game, still very much up in the air.
From deep, Trent. Mobley with the rebound. And so Garland will bring it up for the Cavaliers. They're coming off that win against Philadelphia.
And boy, did that game nearly get away from them, but they were a little bit fortunate to have survived at the end of regulation.
They were extremely lucky. I think they took their opponent for granted a little, and it nearly cost them.
Driving the lane. Oh, and the dunk by Mitchell.
What you love about Donovan Mitchell, not only does he explode into his moves, he finishes with authority.
And now, let's take one more look at that great mobile one drive.
And that's a thing of beauty. Certain plays, almost no words. You just sit back and appreciate.
There is the value of great rim protection without fouling, forcing the miss.
He gets that one.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
In Toronto, they've gone 50% from the field, hitting 3 of 6 since the opening tip. Passes it to Barnes. Here's Van Vliet. And the Raptors miss again.
And the D does just enough to throw off his rhythm on that shot.
Shot's good by Mitchell.
Finding a little rhythm here that they have to like where they're at.
They're playing well. They're building momentum. This is how they can turn a small lead into a big one.
Fade away. Rebounded by Donovan Mitchell.
And he's frustrated. That's a shot he can make in his sleep.
Donovan Mitchell firing on all cylinders for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter of action so far. And from what you guys have seen so far from Cleveland, what's your take?
Boy, their offense looks really good when everyone's in sync terrific first quarter.
This is exactly what you want to see if you're a coach. Your team starting fast and playing with confidence.
Timeout is called, first of the game for the Cavaliers.
Looking at the Raptors roster, basically the entire squad is under 30. Their key players are extremely young, a great sign for the future.
The defensive pair in the post, Mobley and Allen. Darius Garland is out there with Mitchell, and it's Okoro in at the 3, the small forward. That's the 5 for Cleveland right now. And great camera work showing up on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam. Here's Van Vliet, following the basket by Donovan Mitchell. And Darius Garland picks up the foul. That's his first foul. Here's Achua. Paxson coming off the assist from Young. Achua's got his first basket. Yeah, youth is on their side. And Smitty, since winning that title in 2019, the Raptors have totally turned over their squad.
Kawhi, Kyle Lowry, Serge Ibaka, all have left Toronto, Kevin, replaced with much younger players. Give Toronto's front office credit for retooling quickly.
And Scotty Barnes, the Rookie of the Year in 2022 in the NBA.
And you could argue he was maybe the biggest surprise of the 21 draft. Made a huge impact on the floor immediately. If you did a redraft of that class, he'd be closer to the top.
Barnes hits them both. And this league has plenty of guys who can take over a game at any time. But, Steve, how fun is it to have a team with multiple threats and on any given night?
Well, it's really, Kevin, unfair because you have two guys that can get it going. And for the defense and the other team, that is hard to contend with.
And so Van Vliet will bring it up for the Raptors, trailing here by 8. They'll be playing host to Chicago for their next game. That game is the first and last of their homestand.
And their shots are falling now with more regularity than we saw at first.
Now, here's Garland, coming off a stellar performance against Philadelphia.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
Here's Van Vliet. So, timeout called here, the first for Toronto.
And Garland, a finalist for Most Improved Player of the Year in 2022, took a huge leap forward with his play.
Chris Boucher's checked in for Young. Just about a minute and a half has gone by here in the second. Now the pass to Van Vliet. Good ball movement here by the Raptors. Fires from 14. Here's Achua. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
Toronto shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night. And he knocks down the first one. For Garland, he put in the work, and it all came together for him, GA.
And his shooting reached a tipping point. It was given the keys as a playmaker, and this is a great situation for him. And boy, he's made the most of it.
Looking at who's out there now for the Cavaliers. Wade, he's checked in for Jared Allen. Green comes in for Isaac Okoro. And it's LeVert in for Garland. A moment now to hear from our sideline reporter, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. David.
Thanks very much. Karis LeVert has become one of the game's best slashers. He says, honestly, I just go to the front of the rim and work on different spins, getting more comfortable with both hands and finishing. Kyrie Irving did that when he was younger, and that's one of the ways he became a great finisher. Kevin, back to you.
He is a great finisher. David, thanks. He's studying the greats, and it's paying off. And the Raptors miss again.
I'm not sure the defense affected that shot. That was just a blown gimme.
Here's Green. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
And though he's a physical, tough-minded individual, Danny Green's averaged less than 1 free throw attempt per game over his career. That's surprising.
For the Cavaliers, Osman comes in for Mobley. And Ricky Rubio subbed in for Donovan Mitchell. Jakob Poeltl's checked in for the Raptors. Pascal Siakam comes in for Chris Boucher. Now, here's Anunoby. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Cavaliers with the rebound.
Rare for him to get a wide-open shot from mid-range and fail to connect.
Here's LeVert, and he dunks it down.
The D just kind of stepping aside and letting him get to the rim.
There's a reason, GA. The lead is what it is right now.
It's a backbreaker for your defense, giving up easy buckets like that.
So we've reached the end of the first half of play. Cleveland ahead as they end the second quarter on a 9-1 run. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much. Here with Nick Nurse. Coach, the efficiency wasn't there in the first half. What adjustments do you need to make?
I thought we got pretty good shots, and if we're not going to score, it makes getting our defense set up difficult. So we've got to keep shooting them. Hopefully start making some of them.
Well, you can't score until you shoot, Coach. Thanks. Back to you.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow right here on 2K Sports.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. Good to see you back here on our halftime show. Well, actually, we can't see you, but you can see us, but you get it. Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal. You're watching the NBA on 2K Sports. A tremendous start for Donovan Mitchell. He had 14 points, 2 assists, and 1 steal. What'd you think, Shaq, about Cleveland?
You guys know I appreciate when a team takes a commitment to attack in the painted area. When you get those high percentage looks, good things tend to happen. That's how they built this league.
Looking at Toronto, Kenny, your thoughts?
They didn't shoot the ball very well. That's because they didn't have any flow on offense. I'd expect the...
And
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. It's been one outstanding game from Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, it's been a great performance from him, really staying focused on quality shots.
And many of those quality shots have been jumpers. A very high percentage of those in the first half.
And there's one area where the Cavs have been very good the past few seasons. That's the draft. They've made some terrific picks in terms of personnel.
Setting the floor for the Raptors. The forwards are Barnes and Siakam. Van Vliet in the backcourt. Trent Jr. to his side. And it's Pirtle in at the 5 down low. Mobley dishes to Garland. Whistle blows. Yep, that's going to be a travel. You're right, GA, they have, and the draft's been essential to the rebuild effort in Cleveland.
And they've been so smart about it. You look at the guys they brought in, Mobley, Garland, Sexton. They've nailed just about every one of their selections.
Trent uses both hands to slam it down.
Nimble drive by Gary Trent Jr., working his way to the look he wants.
Garland against Van Vliet. Yep, that one goes in there. Garland's got 6.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
And that was another look at the fantastic Mobile One drive that happened a moment ago.
And putting that pressure on the rim. That's what it's all about, threatening with that attack.
Here's Van Vliet. The shot, no good. And it's the Cavaliers taking it the other way. At the conclusion of this game, they're off to Washington, where they'll face the Wizards. And that'll be the first of a 2-game road trip for them. And now the latest from our reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. A busy few years for Nick Nurse. In 2019, he helped lead the Raptors to the title, and he was the 2020 Coach of the Year. He says, it means a lot to me that this city and this country loves this team so much, and we can go out there and give them something to be proud of. Of course, Kevin, he's been a key part of that success. Back to you.
Maybe the single most important part of their success, GA. Thank you so much. Chris Boucher's checked in for Toronto.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Barnes looking around, and it's Isaac Okoro with the foul. That's his first foul for the Cavaliers. Cedi Osman, he's checked in for Evan Mobley. Caris LeVert comes in for Mitchell, and Ricky Rubio subbed in for Garland. And then for Toronto, Young comes in for Pascal Siakam, and Anunoby subbed in for Trent.
I can see he's pressing a little now, trying desperately to help them shrink this deficit.
Boy, you have to be impressed with the offensive production. They have got it firing on all cylinders.
It's been tremendous job of play calling and execution. They just continue to increase this lead.
Barnes outside. Over Okoro. It's good from Barnes on the assist by Anunoby.
Good work inside. Barnes showing how skilled he is close to the rim.
Pass to LeVert. And it's Toronto with the rebound.
Even though he missed it, this is the exact play your offense is designed to produce.
And all you got to do is look at the rebounding margin as to why they hold the lead.
Effort's been there. Check mark. The physicality. Check mark. They set the tone for this game early on.
Raptors trail by 21. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Young with the steal. Now, here's Anunoby. 4 seconds left. They get it again. And the dunk by Boucher.
You can count on him to bring the energy. Boucher crashes in and gets the effort points off the rebound.
And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Cavaliers lead by 19. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from Cleveland. How about a look at today's State Farm assist of the game?
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
Execution. This is what you practice every day. These guys are professionals. Beautiful play.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. Timeout called, Cleveland. Greg, when you look at Toronto, they have a lot of length and defensive switchability.
They swarm opposing stars and tend to make it very difficult in those passing lanes. So a great profile for a modern NBA defense.
Raptors trail by 19. In at small forward and power forward. It's Okoro and Mobley. Donovan Mitchell is out there with Garland. And it's Allen in at the 5, roaming the paint. So that's who's on the floor for the Cavaliers. And on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam, you can see how impressive that move was. Here's Garland, following the basket by Scotty Barnes. Top of the key, Siakam. Trent with the wide open look. Gets the three-pointer to fall.
Gary takes a lot of threes, and you see why.
Mobley against Siakam. And Allen slams it in.
I'll tell you, at his size, once he gets it in there, it's over.
And so Anunoby will bring it up for Toronto. It's a 16-point game. Pass to Poeltl. Barnes up top. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. That one on Mobley. GA, it wasn't long ago that the Cavs were an afterthought in the NBA.
Well, not anymore. I mean, Cleveland has a tremendous young roster. They play some of the toughest D in the NBA, and they're only going to get better in the years to come.
The future that Scotty Barnes has in this league is bright. A versatile swingman with an outstanding work ethic.
Now, here's Okoro, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
The Raptors are only a few years removed from its championship in 2019. Boy, a lot has changed since then.
A lot of change. Toronto is without some of the key pieces from that title team, and it wasn't that long ago. But, Greg, they haven't had to go through a full rebuild. There are some remaining parts.
Listen, the talent they have is still undeniable, and they've got a good mix of young up-and-comers and players in the prime of their career.
Now, here's Siakam. And no good. Excellent D there from Allen. The Cavaliers leading by 16.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for the Cavaliers.
You know, a team can have a great shooting night without getting a lot of assists, but tonight they had both.
Yeah, and listen, you only get the assist if the guy you give it to makes the shot. So a lot of assists will up your field goal percentage, but this was a great team effort by everyone.
And so with this, they'll end up with their second win on the year. The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Donovan Mitchell.
Shouldering the load for them all night offensively. He came in focused, ready to go, and he delivered.
Now, here's Garland. Following the miss by Pascal Siakam. That one goes. Count it.
And you know they feel good giving their fans a show here while taking care of business.
They're going to win by a nice margin. The effort was there all night. You know, if you guys know how to score like Gary Trent Jr., he can fill it up in any situation, firing off quality shots from inside or outside the arc.
And it's a completely new group for Cleveland. Trent hits them both.
Sons of NBA players like Gary Trent Jr., they grow up around the game, and they have a deep understanding of basketball.
Oh, and he plucks it off the glass. Wow. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. Inside. Oh, and there's the one-handed jam.
You know, he's pulling his weight, but they still find themselves behind.
Timeout called the Cavaliers. They're in front by 12. There's 25 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, what do you think?
And the game pretty much over. Curious timeout here.
In my opinion, I think they're looking to make a substitution, but let's see out of the timeout.
There's 25 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Garland, no good. Garland against Flynn. To the middle. Here's Trent. It's hauled in by the Cavaliers. Their biggest lead of the game was 21. Mobley right side. Can't hit from in close. So we see the Cavaliers taking the win here. Some good moments throughout this one, but they have the clear advantage down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I love the way they executed on both ends of the floor, completely under control for the vast majority of the game. And whenever there was a misstep, they just didn't allow it to fester, and that's why they're going to walk away with the win.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Steve Smith, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for tuning in. So long, everyone.